Dominica here from easysewingforbeginners.com. In this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to make a lanyard in two different ways. So this one I've called the continuous lanyard, and I'll also be showing you a way to make the lanyard using a little simple snap there. Okay, and these can both be made into a smaller wrist version as well. Okay, so don't forget to download the printable PDF that I'll have available on my website. So just click on the Get the PDF Here button that you see on the video and look for the button to download the PDF on the blog post. Don't forget to share what you've made with me. All my social media links are in the description box on YouTube or on my contact page on easysewingforbeginners.com. Enjoy the tutorial. Okay, so we're going to start off by cutting the fabric for the lanyard. Now, the beginning part of the continuous lanyard and the lanyard with a snap is the same. So I'm just going to show you this part first, and then when it gets to the part where it differs, I'll let you know. So I've got my fabric here, and this is just a plain broadcloth cottony type fabric that I'm using for demonstration purposes. I'm going to be doing my cutting with a ruler and a rotary cutter, but there's no reason why you couldn't use your ruler to rule your line and then cut with the scissors. Okay, so I've got my fabric. What I've done is I've squared off this edge here just to make it a little bit easier, and my fabric's actually doubled over, as you can see. Okay, we'll need to cut a strip of fabric that's 4 inches wide. So I'm going to do that using my ruler. So I've got my 4-inch line here, which is about the equivalent of 10 centimeters. Okay, so I've lined it up with the 4-inch line here, and I know it's square because it's lining up with that line along the bottom there. Okay, I'll try and cut this without letting the ruler move. Got a new blade in my rotary cutter. Okay, so we got that bit done. Alright, so the next bit we need to do is cut our fabric to the length that we want it. Now if you want, you could just leave it like this, but I like my lanyards to be a little bit shorter, so I'm going to cut mine to about 20 inches long, which is doubled over, so it will actually be a strip of fabric that's 40 inches long. So I'm just going to use my ruler to do that. Okay, then trim that bit off the end. Okay. So next we'll need to take this over to the iron and do some preparing using the iron. Okay, so I've got my iron all set up on the cotton setting, and I have the steam turned off. I've got my strip of fabric here. So what we'll need to do is iron this strip of fabric in half, going long ways. Okay, and we're not going to iron, we're going to press. Alright, so I'll show you what I mean by that. I'm going to just fold my fabric in half so those edges line up like so. And then with my iron, I'm just going to go along and I'm just going to press the fabric in half like so. Okay, try to avoid pushing the iron backwards and forwards because that can stretch your fabric and put it all out of shape. Alright, so I'm going to keep on going like this until my strip of fabric is pressed all the way along, and then I'll come back and show you what the next step is. Okay, so now my strip of fabric is pressed in half all the way along. So now we're going to come back to the beginning, going to open up our piece of fabric, and this time we're going to bring this edge into the middle. I'm going to do that on both sides, and then we're going to press them in place. Okay, so I'm bringing the edge into the middle. So I've already got my line down the middle from when we pressed the fabric in half at the beginning. Okay, and what I would do is just press it and keep going all the way along, like so. Oops. Sorry if you just heard that noise, I think that's my iron interfering with the microphone. Okay, and then what you'd do, once you're all the way along on that side, then you'd fold the other side up so they meet in the middle, and then just press along that edge. Okay, so I'm going to keep on doing this until it's done all the way along on both sides, and then I'll come back and show you what the next step is. Okay, so now your strip of fabric should look like this all the way along. So what I do now at this stage is just fold my fabric in half again. Okay, so essentially you've got 4 layers of fabric there now. And it's almost pretty much like making binding, really. And I'm going to press the top of this just one more time, just to make sure. So the more time you put into ironing and preparing with these lanyards, the less you have to pin, really. So if I've ironed these really well, I don't end up using any pins, but if you want, you can just place a few pins in place just to make sure all those layers stay together. Okay. Okay, so the next step will be different depending on whether you're doing the continuous lanyard or the lanyard with a snap.